Jordan, just watching the team out there then, it seemed like a very relaxed training session ahead of a final, but it seems to be what you were doing all year. Are you approaching this year, this finals campaign, as you have all year?
Yeah, I think so. I think what's really worked for us since about round 6 or 7 when we had the bad St Kilda losses, we just very balanced in the way we review games, whether it's win, loss, or how we approach games. So, yeah, it's no different to what we've done for a large part of 4 or 5 months now. And, the weather helps. The sun's out and we've been trapped indoors the last couple of weeks. So it's just nice to be out there and having a bit of a joke and a laugh. And obviously that'll get a bit more tense during the week when we cast our focus towards Gold Coast.
Can you tell us a bit about that trip to the Maritime Museum and this sort of bringing it back to Fremantle theme?
Yeah, I can. It was nothing more than a little trip to the Maritime Museum to see Australia too. Obviously, it's sort of come out that our theme was around the America's Cup, and it's not the first time we've made it a big sort of focus for us. It's been a focus all year, and usually you guys are pretty good at finding stuff out, but we've kept this one hidden. It's for me, it's not anything new. It's been what we've related to all year, and obviously, we've drawn some similarities with that, and hopefully we can do the same thing.
Is there anything about that theme that particularly you tap into?
I think it's pretty much the first bit of silverware that was brought back to Freo and how big it was for the Freo community, and just seeing how proud the community are of something and what it actually means to them, and it sort of gives me a bit of a glimmer of what our club and what we can achieve actually means for our Freo public as well. So it's pretty special to be able to represent them through playing football.
You were negative 17 when that happened. Like you're a long way from being born. So did you have an awareness of how significant Australia 2 was, given it was so long before you were around?
To be honest with you, no. I didn't know anything about it until the start of this year in this pre-season. So, like you said, it was a long time before I was born, and funnily enough, growing up, I was a West Coast fan, didn't know much about Freo. So, as I've been a part of Freo, I've got to learn a bit more about the history and everything that goes on in the town, and it's a pretty cool thing that was achieved by those blokes.
So sometimes themes are something you can really relate to already. Has this been a learning experience, and did it become a different sort of inspiration because you didn't have the knowledge of a lot of the things already?
Yeah, for sure. It's always nice learning something new. Otherwise, life would be pretty boring. But I just think it's pretty special. And being sportsmen, we always like to, it's a feel-good story, and it's sort of, those guys would have dreamed of that ever since they were little kids, much like a footballer's dream of winning a premiership. So, it is achievable. It's not impossible, and that gives us hope that they were down 3-1 in a best of 4 or first of 4 wins the series, and they come back and won 4-3. So, you're never truly down and out if you believe so.
The secret to that cup success was the winged keel. Who's the Dockers' winged keel?
Our winged keel, it's probably the whole club, to be honest. I just feel like it's a very tight-knit club, particularly the playing group and the coaches. It's been a tough year at some points. We've ridden the waves a bit. We've had some shocking losses. We've had some great wins, and it sort of can go up and down for us, but we're a group that's pretty balanced and very tight-knit, and we win and lose together, and I think that's what makes us pretty strong, is that we can trust each other a fair bit now, and we're a bit more mature, and we're in a better place than we were in round 1.
What are your memories of finals previously?
I've only played 2, and it was a win and a loss, so it was a good win at home and then a loss, but obviously, it's something you always want to play in, and we strive towards winning these, and I think just the excitement to now sort of, it's a long year, you work your ass off to get to this point, and then it sort of all chips in, on we go.
To have a sold-out crowd and have it against Gold Coast, you don't have a big following, so it's going to be a very purple-orientated crowd. Do you feel that that's an advantage which you need to seize upon?
Obviously home finals, is an advantage in a way, but I think, we can't read into that too much. Gold Coast haven't, as you put it, had a huge following for their whole history, and they've also another club who's probably done it pretty tough as well. So that hasn't affected them this year in the way they've played and the way they've rocked up interstate. So, I'm expecting Gold Coast to be full bore, and, it's it's game on Saturday.
In terms of the maturity of the group, how do you compare it now to a few years ago when you played finals for the first time?
Well, the comparison, I think, look at the same blokes who were playing this time, or 3 or 4 years ago. It's naturally you've played about 60 to 70 more games, 3 or 4 years older, experienced a lot more scenarios, a lot more positions on the ground, played a whole lot more footy together. I think you can draw on a lot of things and see that there's a natural progression there in anything we've done. So, I think it's going to hold us in pretty good stead.
And Patrick Ross has built a huge comp following now. Just from the player's perspective, what have you made of that? And what's he like as a person behind closed doors?
Yeah, I think it depends how you put it. It's a cult following from Freo fans, and I think he's the world's biggest pest to any other club in the AFL. But, we love playing with him. He's just a barometer for us in and around the club, not just on the oval. Like, he comes in, he works harder than anyone. He's always so positive. He's getting the boys together. He's laughing. He just lightens the mood a bit, and he's the type of person you want to walk out on the oval with every week, but also you want to come to work with during the week as well.
The celebrations are pretty wild, and so we poked Tracy once in the eye. How careful are you with that when he comes through with his high fives and whatnot?
Well, fortunately, I don't have to celebrate with him too often because I'm in the back half and he sort of kicks a goal and takes off. But I love it. Like, I'm big for people being themselves. I think in this environment we can get controlled a fair bit and sort of always getting told what to do and how to act. But at the end of the day, these boys are people, and I feel like you should be able to express yourself however you want to. And he's a great one for that.
What's it like being an All-Australian?
To be honest, it's no different. I still woke up in the same house with the same mates and went to the same pub on Saturday. So it hasn't changed my life or anything like that. It's something I haven't done a whole lot of reflecting on, to be honest. It's flew over to Melbourne, flew back into training, and got a game this week. So I'm more excited about playing finals, to be honest.
It's an awesome honour though. Like, you've had an amazing year. You've been on the verge. Like, you must look at it and go, I've just joined the elite players in the comp.
Like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of reflecting. Only thinking I sort of did was on the nights, looking around going, how am I even here? Like, these blokes around me are so much better than me. So, it was, like I said, it was a bit of a pinch myself moment when I was up on the stage. But, I truly haven't done much reflecting apart from that.
What sort of reaction did you get once you're back in the club? The boys give you a hard time or just full of praise?
No, it's not a hard time. Like I said, we're a very tight-knit group, and like I said, it's business as usual. It doesn't change your life. It doesn't change who you are. It shouldn't change the way you feel about yourself or anything like that. I'm no bigger than anyone else in the club or anyone else outside the club. I'm still just a normal person who plays football, and I love coming to do it with these guys. And to be honest, I'm probably a product of my teammates around me, so I'm no better than any one of them.
You beat the Suns earlier this year up there. What does it take to make sure you do it again down here?
4-quarter performance, 120 minutes of football. The whole way we've been playing the last few months, you never get 120 minutes of the game on your terms. So I do feel like Gold Coast will at some stages have momentum this week, but if we play the way we want to play and we know what works for us, I think we'll be very competitive.
It's meant to be wet all week, which is different to what you've had out there this morning. You've had a lot of wet weather footy this year. Do you feel like you're well prepared if it does bucket down like it could?
Yeah, I think so. You touched on it. We've had a lot of wet games this year, and I think our record in them is pretty good. So, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but it's not something we prepare for. It's out of our control, whether it's raining, whether it's not. So, like I said, pretty mature group now, and we know what's expected of us and what we need to tinker when it's raining or if it's dry, and it's often not that big of a change for us.
What is it about this group that can go far in September? What specifically about this group of players that can go deep?
I think just a resilient bunch, to be honest. And we just take it in our stride. We have a lot of fun. We're quite youthful. We've just got a lot of energy about us that, it's, I truly believe any team can win any game if you rock up the right way and play the right way. Like, I honestly think the final 8 teams now, every single one of them is a live chance. So we're a group that believes so heavily in ourselves, and we're going to give ourselves every chance. No bones about that.
Justin said this morning that you had a Q&A with Nat, obviously as your most experienced player. Like, what did he have to say that you took from his experience that you can use yourself into this game?
Yeah, I think Fifey was just sort of very balanced with how he looked at it and said that as the stakes rise, the game still asks the same questions of you. It'll ask the same questions as it did in round 10, round 12, round 15, and your role doesn't change. You just don't have to do any more than you've done for the 23 games this year. You just rock up, play your role, because our 23 roles game day come together. It makes us a pretty good football team. So, he was just more talking about that, and said that, it's an experience that you enjoy. Don't fear it. It's a privilege to be able to play in these situations, and tuck it under the wing and have a go.
He hasn't played a final in 10 years, hasn't played a final as a Brownlow medalist yet. Do you get the sense from him that he's ready to have an impact in whatever role that might be?
Yeah, 100%. I think, he touched on a few years ago that when he was in his prime, it might have been 10 years ago when he played those finals, that, he felt like he had to be the guy that carried Freo over the line, where he's sort of flipped his mindset now and he really enjoys just being a part of it. He doesn't have to be the main man. He just plays a small part in helping us trying to, chase that elusive premiership or, win a final, whatever it may be. I think he really enjoys sitting back, a bit like a proud older brother, I think. And I just love having him part of it. I think whether he's out on the oval and playing, or he's on the bench, or he's in the coach's box, he has such a great presence and influence on our group. And, he's one person I really look up to on this list. And, I don't take him for granted around the club at all.
You don't fear it, but enjoy the pressure element. Like, you've had pressure on you, as you said, since the start of the year, and you had real pressure in that last game. Do you feel like everyone's had that feeling, or they've enjoyed the pressure, and that's why you've been able to rise to the occasion?
Yeah, in some elements for sure. I think not a relief to get to the finals, but it was quite a hard-fought year, and it's very tight. It was a very tight competition, and I feel like, now that it's finals, it felt like the Doggies game was a final for us as well, and there was pressure on there. And I feel like every time there's been an opportunity to try and galvanise this group, we've sort of come together even better and stronger. And it's something that we seem to just enjoy. And when it gets hard, they're the best times to come together and win games of football. It's the tough stuff is what you remember. And even if it doesn't fall our way this week, this will still be one of the most memorable seasons that I've played so far, and still draw a lot of good memories from it.
What was it about that St Kilda loss that sparked such a big turnaround? I know it would have been a lot of disappointment there, but just in analysing it, how did you turn things around so well from that point?
I think, we sort of came together and started with JL, sort of being pretty, honest and transparent with the group, and said, if you want to be treated like men, start playing like men. And, that's been our sort of mindset ever since. And I do recall Lukey Ryan and Fifey getting up, and Sonny, when he was still part of our group before he retired, speaking quite honestly and openly about how they see it and what they're probably not going to stand for, and what, and we were quite a inconsistent football team, whether we liked it or not. And, and since then, I think everyone's sort of bought in, and, from the top down, everyone sort of had to look inward at themselves and see if they were really actually giving 100% or being their best self. And since then, I feel like the group has, and like I said, the club has really stuck together and navigated some bloody good times and some hard times. And hopefully it can be some more good times in the near future.
What were some of those home truths that delivered?
Yeah, well, that's the thing that only the players and the coaches are going to be privy to, unfortunately. And, someone's getting a call. You want me to answer it? Shane Hope. There we go. It's like I said, it's for the playing group to sort of, it's our thing and only we know about it. And, it's what's keeping us in really good stead.